You're watching JaxBlade's month of Halloween. Let's kick some shit out of some psychopaths. Groovy.
Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back with another month of Halloween video. And this video was actually inspired months ago by my good friend Brick Snipes, and this was the question he asked. I'm just gonna read it to y'all. Hey bro, you always talk about your favorite heroes that inspired you, but what about villains? Are there any villains that motivate you physically or personality-wise? And I thought this was just a phenomenal month of Halloween idea because every October is just the spirit of being like our favorite scary monsters, you know?
I want to draw some blood.
Now, since my friend asked me my top villains that motivate me, that's a bit different than the villains I just like in general. Like, I'll actually have a little thing at the end where I'll show all my personal favorite villains, like just from various series. But this is just going to be my top 5 that personally motivate me the most. Just every time I see them, they just sort of like motivate me either with the way they have their work ethic, the way they just have like this energy about them, or the way they just, you know, keep on going. Like, I love certain villains like that. But I'm gonna make this a top 6 video because I don't know, 6 just seems like a perfectly evil number, so like I'm just gonna do that. But without further ado, let's get into my top 6 motivating villains. Number 6, Garo from One Punch Man. Now, season 2 of the One Punch Man anime was a bit of a letdown, but I think we can all agree that Garo made it entertaining at least. I just love the fact that as a kid, he was a bullied outcast and empathized with the monsters he would see heroes taking down. And the fact that he worked his ass off to get stronger by training to decimate all these heroes is high-key motivating, and honestly, he's one of my favorite Tough Like the Toon characters to go back and revisit when I want to switch up my routine. Link in the card above. And again, to me, he's not really a true villain. He's more of an anti-villain. But I keep seeing people post that, oh, Garo is an anti-hero, when clearly Garo is not an anti-hero. Did I say Garo or Garo? Anyway, you know what, I'm used to the manga. You know what, I'm gonna say Garo for right now. But anyways, I just want to say this. Garo is not an anti-hero. He is an anti-villain. This is a common mistake people always make. He is still hunting heroes, but he's not killing everyone. Hell, he helped that little kid out. But he's not killing, like, say, Cletus Cassidy Carnage. By the way, I gotta say, if you ain't reading Absolute Carnage, the new Carnage storyline that's going on, y'all are missing out. This is some hype stuff. And this isn't just because I love Carnage and Venom. This is just like, I'm really getting super invested in this story, so I highly recommend it. All right, let me make this, like, super easy to explain with some examples. So, let's take a hero, right? A hero does good things for selfless reasons, like they save the world because it's the right thing to do. An anti-hero does a good thing for selfish reasons, like they'll save the world either for money, or they will go out their way to kill those that the law won't put down. You know, stuff like that. A villain does evil things for selfish reasons. You know, like they summon the devil for power, or killing anyone just because it's fun and it's amusing to them to cause like such sadistic torment to other people. An anti-villain will do an evil thing for selfless reasons. So, for example, like they'll summon the devil to save a life, but they don't go out their way to harm certain people. So, like, here's some examples of anti-villains you might know. So, like, Yujiro Hanma from Baki the Grappler. He does whatever he wants and is cruel, but he's not attacking random untrained people. And then, of course, you know, one of my personal favorites, Jason Voorhees, is an anti-villain too, because, like, he doesn't enjoy killing people. He doesn't like it like, you know, Freddy Krueger enjoys it, Chucky enjoys it, and Pinhead takes super delight in murdering people. But he only does it because he is compelled to do it for what happened to him and his mother, and, you know, just don't trespass on his turf. But then, like, Garo, especially in the webcomic and manga, does some nice things, but he's still doing villainous stuff. Besides that, he's still, like, one of my favorite anti-villains, and I gotta give him props, is just a tough badass, and I love seeing him work. Number 5, Bane. When not including Batman the Animated Series, Mr. Freeze, who is just a spectacular, tragic antagonist.
Remember, there might be some momentary discomfort.
Bane is without a doubt my favorite Batman antagonist. While a lot of people love the Joker, and while I do love him too, I could never really take him that seriously as a threat when realistically Batman could lay his ass out 120 different ways before he even realized it. And I know the whole thing about Joker is he is unpredictable, but realistically Bats could demolish him quickly in one-on-one combat if he really wanted to. And I personally love villains who not only can be cerebral villains, but also those that are formidable as well. And Bane is both. He grew up in a prison prison, training not only his body but his mind to be one of the strongest and most intelligent adversaries Bruce could ever face. And thanks to, you know, Batman and Robins and some video games, there's a stigma that, oh, Bane is just a bro like meathead, when in reality he's one of the smartest Batman villains out there who used that wit and knowledge to deduce who Batman was before breaking his back. And even though he became a bit of a jobber later on, I always did enjoy seeing Batman meet his match whenever they initially faced each other off, because it was just like a great thing. But one thing that really irritates me about Bane is they always fuck up his design. For some reason, nearly every time they animate Bane, they cannot get the damn mask right. It is not hard to do a Bane design properly. Just go off the comic book, all right? Because every time they do a Bane design, it really irritates me, because it's like, he either looks like a buff clown, or he looks like a buff gimp, or he looks like a buff, like, goth character. And it's just like, dog, don't show his mouth. That's it. That adds like so much intimidation to him. As a matter of fact, like, you wouldn't give Spider-Man a mouth. You wouldn't give Spider-Man a mouth flap to show more emotion, all right? You can do the same with Bane. And as a matter of fact, I don't get it. I really don't understand it, because they're doing more work for themselves. They're doing more work for themselves when they show his mouth and make it look, oh, I'm Bane, I'm talking. No, if you cover it, he looks badass and he looks like intimidating and just like a force of nature from the comic. But no, that just irritates me every time, bro. I don't know why it's so hard to just do the first comic version animated. It looked the best out of all of them. He doesn't need his damn mouth showing. They only got it right in Superman Batman Public Enemies, but he's there for like 10 seconds. Or just give him that damn metal squid thing that Tom Hardy wore. But don't fix what ain't broken. Sorry, Bats.
Admirable, but mistaken.
Number 4, younger Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho. Ever since I was a kid, I really admired Toguro for the way he carried himself. He had this sense of honor to him, his methods of powering up / attacking, and of course, his personality was a level of chill I always wanted for myself. He became a demon to never feel weak again, since he felt responsible for all of his students' deaths at the hands of one, and going through traumatic experiences and never wanting to let yourself be weak or a victim again hit an emotional chord with me, as I've mentioned many times before on my channel. His strength, his power, and his demeanor all endeared me to his character, and his goal of wanting to taste defeat by someone who actually could let him cut loose at full power was just, I'm gonna be real, alpha as fuck. To this day, I am still salty that he is just a B-class demon. Like, first off, didn't you wish to be the highest class of demon and they capped you at upper B? Fuck out of here with that mess. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Toguro deserved better. Like, tell me down below. Toguro did deserve better, right? Like, I'm not the only one, but I just gotta give props to him. He's my favorite Yu Yu Hakusho villain and one of my top 10 favorite anime villains of all time.
I've waited a long time for this moment. Now destiny has rewarded my patience.
Number 3, the Shredder. Now, for those of you who follow me on Twitter and follow me at JaxBlade Fitness down there, I'm like super on Twitter all the time because it's just addicting and I'm always posting and I always like give updates of stuff I'm working on. But let me just say this, for people who follow me on Twitter, y'all know how big a Ninja Turtle fan I am. Like, I've made tier lists, I've talked about in depth of why I like certain things, I've talked about the new comics, but like, I've seen every Ninja Turtle series to completion. I've seen every episode of the 1987 series, every episode of the 2003 series, every episode of 2012, every episode currently of Rise of TMNT, and you know, every episode of that Next Mutation, but we don't talk about that. Also, I've seen all the movies. As a matter of fact, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 is one of my favorite, top 10 favorite movies of all time. I love that movie to death. I can rewatch it any time of day. I love, I've seen all the movies too, but I've also read the comics and like read all the variations. So I'm such a massive Ninja Turtle fan, and I've seen so many variations of Shredder over the years, and I just gotta say, like, I really love him as a villain. But one thing I just absolutely gotta say right now, whoever designed the 2003 Shredder armor, you deserve a fucking like raise. I don't care who did that. That is one of the most badass designs I've ever seen for just anything in general. It looks amazing. It looks intimidating. It looks so cool. Like, I wonder if you could cosplay that crap, because it is so raw. It is one of the beastliest freaking armors and just designs I have ever seen. And whoever designed that, you get nothing but praise. All right, you deserve all the raises all for that, because that is just Chef's kiss. So I've seen many variations of Shredhead, though I gotta say my personal favorites are the 1990 movie Shredder, 2003 Krell Shredder, 2012 Shredder, and most recently the TMNT vs. Batman animated Shredder. Now, don't get me wrong, I love 1987, and Uncle Phil, James Avery, voiced him perfectly, but let's be real, he was a bit of a crybaby.
But I don't want to conquer this place. I want to conquer Earth.
What I love about the Shredder is the fact that even though he is the top of the food chain when it comes to TMNT villains, and yes, I am saying that, fuck off, Krang, he can solo all 4 of them at the same time. He is so raw with his martial arts skills, he can take on them with or without the help of his Foot Clan. Specifically, 2012 Shredder, who fought off the Mighty Mutanimals and the TMNT in a pit of fire and was just like, bring it. Like, I'm here. Like, what you gonna do? Bruh. That was so motivating as fuck. Like, to be honest, that is like being the boss of your life. And when you need to get things together by yourself, you realize that, no, you know what? I can handle this. I got this myself. Like, I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT at what I do. So, like, I love that. So whenever Shredder's personality is like that, I can't help but get goosebumps and anxious to see how he fares in his battle against the reptiles. Like, I love Shredder when he is just such a boss like that.
Those who are not with me are against me, and I crush anyone who stands against me.
Number 2, Jason Voorhees. Now, I'm not going to go super long on this because honestly, if you want to know my thoughts on Jason, because if you've been here a while, you've seen like my video, I go I get super passionate when talking about Jason, and sometimes get low-key triggered when talking about him because us bully kids got to stick together. But yeah, I will just talk really briefly on why I love Jason Voorhees as one of my personal favorite anti-villains. I just love the fact that even when Jason was alive, he survived in the woods by himself, trained to get stronger and quote-unquote defend his home from outsiders. Specifically in the 2009 reboot, which in my opinion is just one of the best movies for Jason himself, as we see how athletic, powerful, and focused he is on getting the job done, even if the job is something terrible. I really love seeing how he worked, and also when he's zombie Jason, I just love seeing how he's this force of nature, unreasonable style, just beast that no one can just take down. Like, he's got all these amazing feats that always got me excited. And again, if you want to know fully why I love Jason so much, just watch these 3 videos. I get super passionate about him, and I will never forget my love for the undead juggernaut of Camp Crystal Lake.
Why won't you die?
And before we get to number 1, here are some honorary villains that I really love as well. Like, these are honestly some of my personal favorite villains of all time, like I mentioned earlier in the video. But I didn't know when I would ever do like a top 10 villains list or something like that, just because I don't know when I would do it. So I just want to give a shout out to all of them because I love these villains so much and love seeing them work. So let's just get right into it. Now, my number 1 villain is a villain that I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on, but for me personally, since this is my personal top 6 favorite villains, ever since I was a kid, I was just enamored by them by the very first time they appeared, just from their actions and what they did and the way they just like pretty much wasted no time and just like getting to what they were gonna do. And just something about them always motivated me with just how they were relentless and they just did not give a fuck. And that is why my number 1 personal favorite villain is always gonna be Kid Buu. I love Kid Buu to death. Like, I know some people just like say, oh, other stuff, but this is why I love Kid Buu so much, because like, a lot of villains are always just yapping about stuff like, I'm going to destroy the planet. Oh, I will destroy this planet. Blah, 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 blah. You're going down, planet. You know, stuff like that. They just talk, blah, 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 blah. Buu didn't do any of that shit. Well, Kid Buu. I want to talk specifically Kid Buu. He wasted no fucking time. He just came up and was just like, bam, and just blew up the planet, like, no talking. He was a man of fucking action, and he would just go and just destroy planets, and he would laugh his ass off afterwards. And I was just like, God, this fool actually did it. Like, he was not talking, no wasting time. And then when he get there, he was just like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna beat your ass having fun with this stuff. And I just absolutely loved that character. He was just a mad dog set loose, and he wouldn't stop beating you until you were just a breathing hunk of meat on the ground. He was that tenacious. And another thing I absolutely loved about Kid Buu is he didn't have one of those freak out moments of, I must get away and cry because he's too strong. Sure. Now, he did rightfully get scared when Vegeta, you know, came out because he just tanked a blast to the face. But besides that, he just straight up tried to tank the Spirit Bomb and only started sweating when Goku got full power back. I love that shit. Like, he was just like, nah, bro, let's go. Let's do this. Come on. Let's see what you got. And I loved it. I love that. Also, I gotta say, I fucking love every time his ass went crazy and started doing the, I love that crap. That shit got me hype as I miss out in Budokai 3 when you powered up, it was him beating his chest. But then, like, they took it out in every other game. Like, that just, oh my god, that was one of the coolest freaking things about Kid Buu. Like, his lack of fucks and just tenacity with everything he did. I fucking love that character. And the fact that he had this perpetual energy to him to keep going and going and going and going like a psychotic Energizer Bunny was just amazing, because he left his foes' faces looking like Apollo Creed seeing Rocky get back up. So for his insanity, brutality, comedic, non-giving a fuck attitude, unlimited power, and most definitely lack of empathy, Kid Buu is my favorite villain. I wish I had the energy to keep moving like that insane fool. I love the fact that he gave no shits, nothing whatsoever. He just kept coming at you. He was that tenacious, and he was having a blast doing it, laughing his ass off. Like, just, that's what he was trying to do. A chaos enforcer. I loved it.
Majin Buu is so much stronger than anyone I've ever faced before. But I know there's still a way to win! What I represent can never be destroyed.
Well, dudes and dudettes, that has been my video for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave me a comment down below of who's your favorite villains or top 5 favorite villains or anything like that, because I'm genuinely curious. See, remember, these are just my personal favorites that every time I watch them, I'm just like entertained beyond belief, or just like motivated, like, yeah, I'm gonna go take care of stuff. And I'm genuinely curious. Be sure to hit that subscribe button too, and that bell icon. That'll let you know the minute I upload. And I think you want to be having that bell icon on, because I got quite a few Tough Like the Tunes dropping, like quite a few. Like, I got suits on suits on suits right now, and I want you to be the first ones to check that out. So be sure to hit that bell icon so you will be notified the second they pop up. Also, I just want to say thank you all so much for sticking with me. I've been incredibly busy working on my like new app that's coming out, and also like this protein powder I've been working on and other stuff, and it's just like so much work, but I'm just really happy that those of you who stick with me always stick with me to the end. So if you made it to the end of the video, just be sure to type #Booyah. That'll let me know you got this far, and I really appreciate the people who watch my videos all the way to the end. It's like just a nice little thing. But remember, like I always say, keep calm and booyah on. God, I love doing that during Halloween. And don't forget, Momentai. Hope you have a great day.